The Penguins had 4 straight in the second period. They score back-to-back power play goals to tie it up. Waite makes a save. Cunningworth, nice effort there to kick it to his stick and let the backhand shot go past Jimmy Waite to make it 5-4 at 10:25. And then at 12:41, Zalapsky to Lemieux, Lemieux to Quinn. It took about 2 seconds up the ice, the full length of the ice. Quinn snuck in behind and beat Jimmy Waite to tie the score. That was Quinn's 15th, the goal coming at 12:41. Great passing by the Penguins, but the Blackhawks really got the short end of the stick in that period as they had to kill off 4 straight power plays by the Penguins.
The key of this game is going to be coming up at the start of the third. Almost a full 5-minute power play for the Chicago Blackhawks. We'll have that in a moment. It's 5-5 after 2. Pittsburgh, along with former Blackhawk and former Penguin Dale Talon, ranking 91st on the all-time scoring list for Pittsburgh. Look at that. What a beautiful mugshot as a Penguin several years and several donuts ago.
They took that off my driver's license, that picture.
I wish they had the side view there where you could maybe see those nice mutton chops you guys used to wear.
Not then. That was out of style.
5-5 here as we get ready for the third period, and the key to the game could well be right here. The Blackhawks with 4:49 of a power play and a major penalty called to Cunningworth in an altercation near the end of the second. And so the great opportunity here for Chicago.
Depend on WBBM for the exclusive AccuWeather forecasts around the clock. Chicago's most accurate weather information from AccuWeather, only on WBBM News Radio 78. And a reminder, after tonight's game, stay tuned for the Dave Baum Show. Dave talks with the day's newsmakers and you on the Dave Baum Show on WBBM News Radio 78. It wasn't too long ago. It was a 3-3 game at the Montreal Forum, and the Hawks had a 5-minute power play. They didn't score on it. The Canadians went on to score a couple of goals late in the period and win the game, and the Hawks haven't won since.
All right, here we go. The draw to the Penguins, and Dykstra clears. Boy, and you got to figure Doug Wilson must be hurting. He's not out there to start this period on the power play. Wilson breaking a finger not long ago. There's Larmer on the right wing boards. His pass deflecting into the Penguin zone, and it's ruled an offside play anyway. Back looking, oh, there's Wilson now coming out for Chicago, but you mentioned it earlier. He's had maybe, what, 5 or 6 shifts the entire night.
He had 2 in the second period. 1 early, 1 late.
The real difficulty for Wilson with that finger, it's on his left hand, his power hand, the shooting hand. And that, of course, one of the big weapons on the Hawk power play is his tremendous shot. And we saw it early in the game. The first good scoring chance of the game was for Doug Wilson, and he cranked it several feet wide. He clearly is playing in some difficulty, but a measure of his character that he remains in the lineup.
Also, the Blackhawks have had other numerous chances in this hockey game, and Steve Larmer especially, and he's missed the net 3 or 4 times.
Now the draw at center ice, controlled by Wilson. He gave it to Conroy. Up the boards to Thomas, who shoots it in. Barrasso fired it to the far side. Wilson unable to hold it at the line. Lemieux got away. Here's Lemieux into the Hawk zone, moving in for Erie. He scores! A short-handed goal for Pittsburgh, and the Penguins grab the lead at 6-5.
What a pass from Mario Lemieux. Flipped it over the stick and right onto the tape of Erie, who just advanced it past Jimmy Waite. Barrasso cleared it around the boards. Troy Murray was unable to intercept it. Doug Wilson couldn't keep Lemieux at the line, and he just flipped it over the defenseman Conroy right onto the tape. That thing was about a foot in the air, 6-8 inches in the air. He just flattened it right onto the tape. Great feather pass right on the money, and Erie advanced it.
How tough is that to do? He put it up over the stick and laid it flat right on the receiver's stick. I mean, that is... You played. I don't know if you can describe how difficult that really is.
It really is. A lot of times you flip it over, the puck will go on edge and bounce, but that just flipped it up in the air and landed flat right on the tape.
Boy, oh boy, Lemieux at his best. They've talked about a mini slump for Lemieux. 4 points in his last 4 games. How about 5 points tonight? And here's the draw to the Penguins, and they clear. A goal and 4 assists for Big Mario. Hawks still on the power play now. Here's Manson trying to center one. Didn't get it through Dykstra. They battle in behind the net. Larmer dug it loose to the line, and Manson put it across to Yanni. Gave it to Savard. Back to the line, and Yanni again to Savard. Savard far circle to Yanni. Back to Savard. His shot and a save. Rebound. Larmer couldn't control it, and Barrasso makes the save. Larmer tried to kick it forward to his stick. Couldn't complete the move.
Savard let it go through a screen. The rebound to Larmer is at his right skate. He tried to kick it. Came off his skate too quickly for him to get the stick on it, and he was unable to reach it. And Dykstra was there to prevent him from getting to it. Sometimes that puck comes off softly and you're able to control it. That time just squirted away from him, and he was unable to pull the trigger, and it slipped under Barrasso. Well, Larmer's been snake bitten the last couple of games, the number of chances he's had.
Just over 3 minutes remaining on the Hawk power play, but the Penguins with a short-handed goal to answer the shorthander the Hawks scored earlier. Pittsburgh has grabbed a 6-5 lead. Face off to the left of Barrasso. The draw to the line, Manson. Do it across for Yanni. Up the boards to Savard. Trying to center it. Here's a shot. Hit the side of the net from Sutter. Thomas got it to the far corner, Savard. Dennis Savard rolled it in behind the net. Barrasso swats it to the near board. Manson tied up. It's cleared away to Lemieux. Look out now. Might be another 2-on-1. Lemieux cuts in. Centered it. Manson got back to pick off the pass beautifully. Now a lead doesn't click. Stolen by Hillier, and he cleared. 2.5 minutes for the Hawk power play. Manson puts Savard over the line. Weaving to the far side, shooting, and a save by Barrasso, and he gives no rebound, and then Graham run over by Bourque. He may get a penalty. The Hawks should be backing off here. I think the Penguins are going to be 2 men short unless the Hawks get a little too excited. It looked as if referee Maruelli pointed Bourque to the penalty box, and the Hawks trying to come to the aid of their own player. Let's see if they get one as well.
I think Savard is going to nullify that opportunity for a 2-man power play. Graham was knocked down out well after the whistle by Bourque. It was going to be a penalty, a 2-man advantage for the Blackhawks, and Savard came flying in after. Here, Graham just hit after the whistle, definitely a penalty. Maruelli called it, and Savard came in and gets a penalty for what? I don't know. He just came in to the melee, and he'll get a penalty to offset the Bourque penalty.
With a score, Pittsburgh 6, Chicago 5. Back in a moment on Sports Vision and BBM.
Play, Savard cranked it up. Barrasso struggled with it, finally located it. Graham came in, didn't do anything, just stopped, and then Bourque flattened him. A penalty called. Maruelli put the arm up, and then Savard came in and tried to get a poke, take a poke at Bourque, but he was held away by the Penguin player. But Maruelli ruled that it was enough for a penalty. Tough call for the Blackhawks. They would have had a 2-man advantage.
And he just as badly, of course, the Hawks are going to miss their trigger man here on the rest of this power play, which has 2.5 minutes to go. Here's the draw. Bouncing loose to center ice. Now Troy Murray shooting it in. Thomas to the near corner, trying to roll it around behind the net. Took another bad hop off those end boards. It's taken by Erie, and he cleared. Manson, his pass nearly picked off. And the Hawks have to regroup in their own zone. Trent Yanni starts Troy Murray away. He feeds Thomas. Thomas into the Penguin zone, stops on the near side. Dropped it for Manson, again to Thomas along the board. Thomas hanging on. Penguins pack in the box deeply. Here's a long shot from Manson. Barrasso gloving it through traffic, and he holds on.
Thomas wanted to pull the trigger from a sharp angle. The defenseman went down, faked the block, forcing Thomas to pass it to Manson. Manson just had to wrist it towards the net, hoping for a deflection. Didn't hit anyone, and went right to the glove of Barrasso. 1:29 remaining. In the Hawks' worst scenario, they had a 5-minute power play. They give up a shorthander, and they've yet to score on the man advantage situation. On the 5-minute fighting penalty to Hannon.
A minute and a half left on the power play. The draw to Barrasso, and he clears it himself. Dave Manson ahead to Sanapass, clearing to Graham over the line, leaves for Sanapass, the long shot, blocker saved by Barrasso, and the Penguins clear. Lemieux picks off a Wilson pass right out of midair. Mario maybe only a shade behind Gretzky is the best forechecker in the game. Now here's a lead pass, almost decapitated Graham. And the Hawks look to move in, and Sanapass is 20 feet offside. And without Savard, boy, this power play, and Savard and Wilson, the power play just doesn't seem to have it.
What a turning point this might be. 47 seconds still to go on the power play. The Hawks with very few scoring chances on this entire 5-minute chance. Could have had a 2-man power play as well. Instead, they lose Savard for 2 minutes. As he and Bork get offsetting penalties at 2:21 of the third period.
Now the draw. Quinn clears. Mike Eagles to center ice. He hammers it in. Sutter to the far corner. Bounce it back in the net. Noonan looking to center one. Nobody in front for the Hawks. Penguins clear. One more rush on the power play. Conroy shooting it in. Dykstra hammered it to the near side. Bouncing to the line. Held in by Noonan. Into the corner, Sutter. His shot from a bad angle and a save by Barrasso. The Penguins look to clear and do get it to center. Now Lemieux racing. Gets to it. Kicks it head to a stick. Shoot! And a save by Waite. Mario Lemieux corralled a bouncing puck brilliantly. And now Lemieux going down, but the play goes on. As the penalty over, both teams are back at full strength. Here's Barrasso taking a whack at Sutter, and that goes unwhistled. Now the Penguins clear it into the Chicago end. Manson on the far side turning. Had it taken away by Lemieux. Waiting for help. The trailer is Quinn. And he's covered up in the corner by Murray nicely. Manson, the right wing boards Graham. Bounce it ahead to Murray over the line. Murray to the near corner against Zalapsky. Now Thomas in after it. He's tied up by Cullen, then Thomas dug it out, trying to center it, and Cullen recovered to steal that. Steps around to check. John Cullen leads the rush. A long flip shot, and Waite gloves it easily. Well, the Penguins not only kill a 5-minute Hawk power play, they score a shorthander in the process. Oh boy, this road trip at the beginning of it and at the end of it. 5-minute power plays. Killing Chicago, and it was the Hawks that had the power play. Now in the Pittsburgh zone, Steve Dykstra throws it up the middle. It slides down the length of the ice, and this will be icing against the Penguins with 13.5 to go in the third. Pittsburgh 6, Chicago 5 on Sports Vision and BBM.
Trailing 6-5. The good news is there's still 13.5 minutes to go in the hockey game, and the Hawks have been battling back. They trailed 3-0 in the early going, fought back. They had a 5-3 lead midway through the hockey game, and 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal of.
Here's Conroy, a shot, rebound, shot wide as Larmer tried to rip one as he was falling and just shot it wide. Savard won a draw. Barrasso with a good save on Conroy. Well, the Penguins didn't have a play. They just fire it down into the Hog zone. Keith Brown back.
Why was that not icing?
Good question. Here's Savard. To the line, had it taken away. Now Keith Brown at center will dump it in. Lines all the way around the boards, back into the Hog zone. Now a fight behind the play. Santa pass, and Jay Caulfield wrestling at center ice. Caulfield, a tough customer, got in a couple of lefts, a short left. Now they wrestle along the board. Wrestling in close quarters. Jay Caulfield and Everett Santa pass, and down they go. And now the linesman able to separate them with just under 13 minutes to go in the third. Pittsburgh 6, Chicago 5 on Sports Vision and BBM.
Sure. The power play didn't get many chances, but they get one off the draw. Savard the shot. Larmer on the rebound just shot it wide. And after that chance, Santa pass and Caulfield get involved in an altercation. And guess what? The Blackhawks get the instigation penalty, and they'll be short once again. It appeared to me that they were both willing at the same time to drop the gloves and go at it. But the Hawks will be shorthanded for the 8th time in the game. The Penguins are 3 for 7 on the power play. Also, they have a shorthanded goal.
Meanwhile, how did things go for the Buffalo Sabres tonight? One of the lowest scoring teams in the league, the Hartford Whalers, shut out Buffalo 9-0.
Also, Washington knocked off Philadelphia 4-3.
All right, here's the Penguins on the power play, but Murray wins a draw, feeding Graham. Dirk Graham motors over the line. Here's the shot. A weak one went wide. Murray chases it down and then was tied up, and Zalapsky takes over. Now Paul Coffey up the board to Lemieux. Manson had him well covered. Back in his own end, Coffey for Zalapsky. Now Quinn. And Dan Quinn bounces one in. Jimmy Waite shot it to the far side, and the Hawks able to clear. Coffey away to Rob Brown. Aiding Zalapsky. Steps over the line. Zarley Zalapsky turns on the near side. Put it to Lemieux. Far point to Coffey. Now along the boards, Rob Brown to Coffey. Near circle intended for Lemieux. Picked off by Larmer. Ahead for Savard. He cuts in, shooting. He scores! Dennis Savard, a short-handed goal. Ripped it by Barrasso on the short side. The stick side. The second shorty for the Hawks tonight. They've tied the game at 6.
And once again, Paul Coffey victimized. His pass intercepted by Larmer. Larmer, great pickup by Savard through the legs. And from the dot, just beat Barrasso through the legs, or maybe low to the stick side, we're not quite sure. But a big short-handed goal with 1:01 remaining on Santa Pass's instigation penalty. Right through the pipes. Savard's first goal in his last 7 games.
10th goal for Savoir-Faire, assisted by Larmer at 8:12. And Larmer started the whole play by picking off the pass that was intended for Lemieux. He diagnosed what the Penguins were trying to do and then sent Savard away.
Well, Larmer's been brilliant defensively and anticipating and intercepting passes.
Here he steals another one in the Chicago zone, and Clears it down all the way.
Larmer has 2 assists, 2 great assists on both shorthanded goals, but he's also had 4 or 5 great chances that he just shot wide.
Charlie Zalapski lost it as he came to the line. Graham trying to move back. And he's forced to drop it to Conroy, who clears. And one more rush on this Pittsburgh power play. There's John Cullen on right wing over the line. Rolls it in deep for Bork. Bill Bork back of the net took a hit, then Cullen dug it out to Lemieux. Lemieux along the near board. Put it to the deep slot. Here's Hillier, a shot and a save by Waite. Rebound chopped just wide. Now the Hawk penalty is over. But Lemieux in behind. Now works to the corner. Put it to the line, and Penguins hold it in. Here's a long shot from Dykstra. That's up off the glass. Both teams are at full strength, but the Penguins keep the heat on. Lemieux with a bouncing puck. It rolled up over his stick, and that allows the Hawks to clear it. Dykstra tied up as he came to the line. Now back into the Penguin zone. Johnson got help from Dykstra, who cleared it ahead. Now the Penguins, Hannon trying to move into the slot, tied up, knocked off the play. And back at center, the Penguins regroup with Johnson, who shoots it in. Halfway through the third period, a seesaw game is now tied at 6. Out into the Pittsburgh zone, Thomas got help from Noonan. Cleared it in behind the goal, and Hannon takes it away. Clearing to Richard Zemlak, who shot it to center ice. Now Noonan back into his own zone. Hawks cleared into the Pittsburgh end. Rob Brown on the right wing boards. Got it to center. Cullen shooting it in. Zalapski put it into the near corner. Cullen now trying the return pass. That's broken up. Now Zalapski got to it. His long shot well wide of the target, and Sutter got it to center ice. Finally corralled by the Penguins. Zalapski put it into the center ice area. Rob Brown trying to dump it in, couldn't do it. And Manson the other way. Had his pocket picked nearly, then Sutter carries on and shoots it in. And Zalapski for Pittsburgh. Works his way to center. A feed for Lemieux. Cuts over the line, then lost the handler. He was in, and Brown tied him up. Back comes Steve Thomas on left wing. Thomas gains the line for Murray. Shooting. Barrasso the save. Rebound to the near side. Graham was tied up along the boards. Out comes Lemieux. He cleared it to the right wing side. And the Penguins dump it in deep. Murray poked it to the near board. Coffey held it in. Now kicked away from him to center ice. Buskis got it to Quinn, shooting it into the near corner. Dirk Graham looking to clear it, fires at the length of the ice, and the Hawks will take an icing call here. With just under 8 minutes to go in the third. Chicago 6, Pittsburgh 6 on Sports Vision and BBM.
Our next Bulls game on Sports Vision will be Friday at 7:30 when the Bulls host the Milwaukee Bucks. Game time is 7:30 on Friday on Sports Vision as the Bulls meet the Bucks.
Face off to the right of Waite. Here's the draw to the line. Coffey, the long shot, and it deflects up high. Now Eagles slides it out to center ice, and the Hawks dump it in. Oh, Coffey nearly coughed up another one in his own zone. Boy, Coffey has really had an off night at the Penguin defense. Now here's Vive poking it in behind the goal. Hillier tied up by Noonan, who steals. Noonan on the far side avoiding a check. Now finally knocked off the play, and now the whistle sounds and a penalty is coming up, and the Penguins are going to be a man short. The Hawks with a power play chance, 7 minutes to go, 6-6 on Sports Vision and BBM.
Yes. Randy Cunningworth gets a tripping penalty, upended Rick Vive in front of the Penguin net. Penalty coming at 12:58, and the Blackhawks with a chance here to go in the lead on their 4th power play. Their last power play was a 5-minute power play, and it was a disaster.
Rick Vive to the far point. Yanni, now Savard along the boards. Rolled it into the corner. Vive to Savard, now to the line, and Yanni fakes a long shot, now takes it. It's blocked up the defense, and the Penguins clear.
Tough to deflect those shots, especially if they're up around your shoulders.
Yanni now shooting it in. Cleared to the far side. Vive trying to hold it in. Couldn't do it as it bounced away, and Lemieux clears. Dave Manson. His bank pass picked off by Hillier. Down it goes. Now Yanni feeds Savard on the move. He gains the line. Savard on the far side for Larmer. His shot right on, and a save by Barrasso, and he covers.
Not much on that shot. Savard with a quick drop pass to Larmer, but Larmer was fading to his left as he let it go back to his right. He didn't get much on it. It was on target, but Barrasso made the save, and Barrasso very shaky in the net. Every shot he seems to be struggling with.
Since coming to Pittsburgh, Barrasso a record of 4-2-1 and a .368 goals against. You do a double take when you realize this man's only 23 years old. He seems to have been around for forever almost.
He had a great second half last year. His play put Buffalo in the playoffs.
A minute remaining on the Chicago power play. Face-off will be to the right of the Penguin goal. John Cullen, who played at Boston College, or Boston University rather, for 4 years, gets ready to go on the draw against Troy Murray. Cullen, who signed as a free agent with the Penguins, has proven to be a good find for them. Here's the draw. Cleared to the near corner. Hannon put it to the far side. Wilson holding it in to the corner. Got it to Graham. Back to the far point. Murray. Troy Murray near side to Conroy. Up the boards for Thomas. He's tied up along the boards. Hannon stole it and cleared it. One more rush on this Chicago power play, and now a two-line pass taken by
the guy standing still, especially on the outlet situation. There's only one guy back getting the puck. The rest of the guys are just standing and watching. No movement or motion at all, and they've had difficulty getting out of their own zone as the Penguins are very aggressive, and it's been easy for them. On the power play, you got to work harder than any other situation. The pressure is on you, definitely. You have to figure the man advantage, you should score. Penalty killers really, if they score, they say, well, we're a man short, so they really don't have the pressure that the power play has. The power play, you got to hustle back in a hurry and get going and all coming out together.
The draw controlled by the Penguins. Clearing it back of the Chicago net. Here comes Wilson. Long feed for Thomas. Clearing it over the line, and Gord Brossiger called it offside. Looked like a pretty good rush from here.
Steve Thomas tried to pass it to Savard. He was right next to Savard. The pass deflected off the skate right back. The rule was an offside call. Thomas trying to bouncing puck to Savard. Savard deflects it. No way that was offside. We have the benefit of the replay and the officials don't. It's a very tough decision for those linesmen, and close calls they normally call offside.
Doug Wilson's pass picked off. Here's Johnson racing into the Hawk zone.